Hey, you're listening to A Chat with Heart. I'm your host, Christina Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter, curious human. I live on a dirt road in rural Nova Scotia with my partner in crime, Dale, and our calico cat, Olivia. This podcast is basically just me chatting with people I admire. I like to ask questions that feed my curiosity, and my guests have all taught me something. They either crack me up or they punch me right in the feels. If you've got questions, comments, or a burning desire to join the conversation, please call my Heartbeat hotline, day or night. It's 1-902-669-4769. You can also email me at christinamartinmusic@gmail.com. And if you want to throw a little love my way and help keep this thing going, visit my Patreon page. That's how artists like me get paid. Thanks for showing up. Warning, heartfelt content ahead. If we just talk about it, we could shine a light, we could break a dark day. If we just talk about it, we can cut away, we can make a brighter day. Hey friends, welcome back to A Chat with Heart, the place where we get real about the beautiful, pivotal moments, the sometimes messy, and sometimes magical stuff that makes us human. Before I dive in, a little teaser. I am working on an upcoming solo episode of A Chat with Heart where I finally answered the question for myself and other people. I get this question a lot. Wait, you actually make a living doing music? The answer is yes, kind of. It's complicated. It's amazing, and it's totally possible. I am far from wealthy. In fact, I do carry debt because of my music, but I will talk more about that and how I've managed, and maybe I can convince Dale to share his experience with it as well. Like sometimes we're like in awe of like how have we done this? How did we get here? How are we so lucky? Some of it is luck. We've also had a lot of support over the years. We've also worked our asses off, and we still are. we still are. Things look a little different now than they did even like 5 years ago. In terms of, survival financially. But it's interesting, I think, to look at your life, and especially if you're able to do something that you really love and go and just kind of go, what, how do we do that? And I know people are curious because they are wondering for themselves sometimes, or they're just really concerned, which is fair. But if you've ever wondered how the heck I've made it work, stay tuned. I will work on that episode. It might be a month or so. Like I want to make sure it's helpful to people listening. People who are not just musicians, but like people who are thinking of starting their own business or taking a leap of faith and investing more time and money into something that they're just really passionate about. But today I'm sharing a conversation with someone who understands the creative grind on a deep level. Yes, Amanda Shekarchi is a Toronto-based musician, songwriter, journalist, and media producer with perfect pitch and a powerful story. She was born blind, but Amanda has never let her disability limit her. Instead, she's carved out her own path in both music and media with a whole lot of talent, passion, and heart. She's a graduate of Toronto Metropolitan University's media production program and currently co-hosts a 1-hour music show on Met Radio where she curates playlists, highlights top indie and mainstream albums, and builds relationships with emerging artists. Amanda's knowledge of music spans everything from classical to jazz, pop, folk, R&B, and alternative rock, and she's a true music curator with an ear for mood and flow. And she also recently produced and hosted a CBC project called Playing by Ear, where she interviewed blind and low vision musicians about access in the industry and creative resilience. She's deeply committed to disability representation in the arts, and her work blends technical skills with heart-led advocacy. So in this episode, we talk about Amanda's early musical memories. I love that I get to know her more because we've only known each other on more of a professional level before this. And yeah, so she touches on her early musical memories, the unshakable support of her incredible family, her passion for storytelling, her experiences at Canada Music Week, and how boxing and good food keep her grounded. We talk about a lot more. So this one's got brains, fire, and heart, all wrapped up in one powerhouse guest. I'm just so excited that you're here, and I love this. The story behind us is that we met because you so graciously interviewed me for like AMI and then CBC and met radio, and we're going to get to know more about that. But now I get to flip the mic and focus more on you.
Yeah.
How do you do a lot of these podcasts? Like,
it's always funny because I do like lots of time. I'm the one being the interviewer, so it's kind of fun to like be on the interviewee seat for like a change. And I've done a couple like these past few months and stuff. So it's always fun when I got to kind of share a bit more about myself, because when I'm interviewing, it's like obviously you want to focus on time and focus on what the guest has to say, and like now I can kind of share a bit more about me and my experiences.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know that much about you. I just know that you're super awesome, really friendly, kind, and you do great work, and you're a very talented musician, all of which I will have blabbed about as well in the introduction that I'll do.
Yay.
But okay, so I'm gonna let you talk. Are you originally from Toronto? Like, what was growing up there like for you? Tell me more.
It was a really amazing experience. I come from a family where I'm one of 4 siblings, and I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and I have really incredible, supportive parents. I was born blind, but I never let disability be something that held me back. I was always, a go-getter, wanting to do everything that my peers are doing, but in a way that is fun and accessible to me. And luckily, I was very grateful in the place that I was in to be able to go to school, both, childhood, elementary, and high school, as well as university, that will support these passions. So I didn't actually go to school for the blind. Like I just went to a public school or private school, and everyone there really wanted to make it the best experiences. If it was, my teachers and peers when I was younger, making, art in gym class accessible, or older in university, getting into media and figuring out how I can do some of these, more live TV or visual assignments or audio recordings in a way that I can have the same requirements as my peers, but using creative workarounds for visual elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 26 now.
Okay, 26.
Yeah, my birthday was in April, so.
Ooh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
This makes sense because, my impression of you when, since I first kind of was introduced to you, was that you were very well-rounded. You had a lot of interests and talents, that you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem like a very happy person. Not that you don't have unhappy moments and struggles like everybody, but like you just seem to be really grounded, and that I got the impression that you had a lot of support around you from family, and I didn't know that you were the oldest of 4. Do you feel any pressure, like as the older sibling, like to take care of everybody, or are they coming to you for advice? Like, what's that like being the oldest sibling?
I love it because I feel like I get to learn from them, them giving me makeup tips, or my sisters being able to drive, getting able to go places with them. But then I also get to instill a lot of my knowledge and experiences with them. So like my sister Kaylin, she is graduating university soon, and
Wow.
I was just talking with her about what the next step may look like as a recent grad, and how oftentimes there's this pressure of we need to find a job right away, university job, because that's kind of the path that, we always told when you were little, you're going to go to school and you're going to find a job. And I was going to, I'm here to tell her that yes, a job is important and you will find one, but it's okay if you don't find one in the instant, like the month after you graduate. Like, take time
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, explore your passions, and dive deep into what that thing is that makes you happy. And network, put yourself out there, and find the job that represents you.
You sound like the best big sister ever. Like
Thank
now, I'm
you.
not like, wow, I should come to you for advice. This is, oh, they're so lucky. Like, yeah, that's really something. I just was reunited with actually, I should say reunited. I didn't grow up with my older sisters. I only met them later in life, and I'm benefiting from that now. They've made such an effort to get to know me, and I recognize that now, and I'm like, holy geez. So it's just every time we get to talk or spend time together, which isn't it's not often enough, but I really relish having like the big sisters now, and I miss that I didn't. I really do feel like I missed out, like I didn't have them when I was younger in my life. So that's so cool. I'm so happy for your sisters, and I'm sure you also love having them as little sisters.
Thank you so
Oh.
much. And yeah, that's so beautiful about what you just shared there. I think family really, I know it sounds cliche, but they are really such a special and such a stepping stone and such an integral part of your life. And I don't know what I would do without them, because they're there all the time to listen, to, hype you up when you need that, and just to be like, I like to say I have four best friends, because, me and my sisters are always doing stuff together. And, me and my parents are also really super close. And, we all gel together, which is really nice.
What are your parents like? Like, I think I saw a quick clip of your mom speaking really saying lovely things about you, and
Yes.
she looked like a very young mom.
Yeah,
Like,
so this was like back in 2013 when I first started putting out music. So that would have been for the global news interview I did, which I can get more into later on when we talk about
yes.
that. But she is truly the best. She is the most supportive person I know. She is, we always say that she is like the person that keeps on giving, because she always puts us, and like, she'll always do things for us, putting us first. And, she's our biggest cheerleader. If it's, listening to a radio piece I did, or taking my sister to Niagara Falls for her dance competitions, like, she will be there for you no matter what time of day it is, and no matter what you were doing. And, it just feels great that, like, both my parents are that way, that, they're there for the good times, and they're also there when you just need someone to listen and be your support person.
Amazing. Oh, hi, mom and dad. Hi, Amanda's mom and dad. Thank you
Yes.
for being awesome humans and raising very cool citizens. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I wanted to ask you. I like to ask my guests if they about like early memories, particularly when they're musicians. Do you have any memories of your first spark with music? Like
Oh my
what?
gosh,
Yeah.
yes. I remember, I think I was like 2 or 3, and I have some relatives who live in LA, and they have a piano in their house. And I remember not even really knowing anything about music theory. I just was that little kid humming around the house and singing, and just knowing that, like, okay, I do this all the time. I love it. And then they had a piano, and I used to spend hours just playing. And I think it was at that point that I realized I have perfect pitch, because I remember vividly my cousin trying to teach me how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, but I kind of seemed to catch on to it quickly as she was teaching it to me. I was like, oh, yeah, this note combination in my head, like, it sounded right to me. And then, taking more formal lessons like a year after that, I like that really solidified for me at a young age that, playing piano and being able to sit down and like hear songs and be able to figure them out. Like at the time, I didn't know it was perfect pitch, but it was just something that I sat down and did because I can. And so, yeah, that's definitely a vivid memory, but also my first piano recital, I was playing Ode to Joy by Beethoven. And I just
Oh my
remember
gosh.
the feeling of like getting up there, playing it, and then, the feeling of having people clap and enjoy the performance. Because that was like my first time I really, went up on stage and performed to people. Yeah, it was a smaller audience, but, when you're 5, it felt big.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't crap your pants. Like I was terrible with recitals when I took piano. I mean, I certainly didn't have perfect pitch, but that's remarkable that you went up. Like, were you scared or
No,
just no?
it was more, I think it was excitement, like the nerves of excitement, but I was like, I want to do this. I can't wait for my turn to do it. Like, I think it's more like as I'm getting older, I'm definitely more focused of like, okay, when I step up on the piano, these are the things I need to think about. When I was younger, I would just kind of go up, do my thing, and not really like have the jitters before. It was more, I'm excited. Let's do this, like bringing in that type of energy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so remarkable. And I mean, it's something that you can, just what you just described, like I'm gonna tap into that sort. Actually, for me, it was the opposite, right? I was terrified, and now, now,
Oh,
now I'm sort of like now I'm older, and I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna. I'm here for fun. Like I mean,
exactly.
I care, but I'm like not stressing about messing up so much. It's just like I've done my work, and it is gonna be what it's gonna be. But I love that you could tap into that, like always that memory and that joy and that excitement.
Yes.
That's really cool. And that's something that is very I think it's rare. I think it's something a lot of people struggle with, myself included, like the stage fright and the nerves and the concern about messing up and stuff. So kudos to you. I think that's remarkable. And I think it too speaks that you have this gift and you were also supported with it, and you obviously also worked really hard and found joy in it too. I found the joy in it till later, so that's really special too about you.
Thank you so much. And something that I do now to ease that is I go back into that space of where I was when I wrote the song, because lots of my music is inspired by books or TV shows that I watch. So if it's me channeling the characters or channeling a specific theme or scene that sparked the song, my head
Yeah.
usually goes there and I'm like, what are the characters feeling? And I bring that to my performances.
Oh, that's the best. Okay, well, I want to carry that into the song that you wrote that is on your website and on your YouTube channel. It's called "Without No Doubt." It's um, it's got over 300,000 streams on YouTube. And can you tell me more about the story behind writing that song and then putting that music video together, which is also a great video. And I was really blown away. And I want my Little Heartbeat listeners to go visit your YouTube channel. I will share a link in the show notes so that people can really experience how talented you are.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I was back in middle school, and at the time I was listening to a lot of Taylor Swift, specifically her Red album, which had a lot of breakup songs on there. And as Taylor Swift does, I
Mm-hmm.
was sitting in class and all right, I will say this. I am a keener. I do study hard. I do pay attention to everything that goes on in class. But that day, I zoned out for like 5 seconds because people were talking around me. But I kind of blacked that out. And in my head, I had this melody. And I just knew, like, the lyrics just kept coming to me throughout the day where I was like, I know this has to be something. So I literally, like, the first thing I did, I got home and I recorded a voice note on my phone. And essentially, the theme for this song is like, a relationship coming to an end, but at the same time, wanting to give this person another chance because you know in your heart that you still do feel something for them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a fictional relationship because, yeah, I will say that I have, at that point, I still haven't been in a relationship yet.
Oh, you have
But
plenty of time.
anyway, so I channeled those emotions of like what I thought it would be like. And the turning point for that song was I performed it. We had like a talent show
Yep.
that I performed it at, and one of the teachers there, her son used to be a manager for a record label or as part of a record label. And so she said, no promises, send me a demo. I can send it to him and we'll see where it goes. So I went to a recording studio of a producer connection that we had, and we did just like a piano vocals demo and we sent it to him. He really liked it. And then he suggested we go with another producer to record the more professional version that's posted. So we did that. And then the song released in 2014. And around that, we did some publicity for it. So I flew out to LA with my mom and we did a whole bunch of interviews, and which was really lovely because I also have family there. So I got to
Mm.
spend time with them when I wasn't working. And I performed at a couple like events here in Toronto. I did a Sick Kids Gala performance, and there was this magazine called Phase Magazine here, and they did like a back to school event. So I got to like perform with like people like Victoria Duffield, who was on the show The Next Star. Like she was like one of the other performers there, so I got to meet her, and like that was a really cool experience. And then the global TV interview that we talked about earlier, that was really fun. We went into the recording studio and we did an interview there, and yeah, so without no doubt, really showed me that music is something that I could do and that I love doing.
Yeah. Geez. And the global news you were 14 years old?
Yes.
Like, that's a big
It's
deal.
so wild.
Did it make you feel
Yeah.
good? Did it make you feel more nervous? Like, what was it like?
No, I was definitely a natural near the camera. Like they put the lab mic on me and they're like, "Okay, perform one of your songs." So I did, and it was really good. The crew were super nice and supportive, and they treated me with so much respect. And even at 13, they really wanted to get my story out there, which I think was, or 14, they really wanted to get my story out there, which I think was really incredible to see. And yeah, it was a really good experience, the Global TV interview.
Where are you at with writing music, playing music? I know you have some incredible covers on your YouTube channel that again, like I was listening to the Alicia Keys Girls on Fire. I was like, oh my
That was my
God,
first cover.
what? Your voice and your
Yeah.
piano playing, like it's just, you're spot on. I was just like,
Thank you.
holy, like it would
Yeah.
take me years to learn. And, I was
Yeah, that
really,
was my
yeah.
first cover I ever put up. I love that song. I just really, at that time, and I still can relate to the message that, like, we can do it. We can put ourselves out there, and, we're on fire. We put it out in that way. But, yeah, where I'm at now with music, um, so since then I have been writing, especially during the pandemic. It's definitely been something that kept me going. Reading books like the Divergent series by Veronica Roth and writing a song about that, and, just getting inspired from other, TV shows. Like I have a song based off of the mystery show called The Mentalist, which I
Hmm.
wrote last year. And I really would love to, put, like, my goal is to put these out and record them in a way that's, professional. teaming up with a producer and, trying maybe 3, 4, 5 songs. So that's a bucket list item of mine. So I feel like music is still a part of me and I do want to continue that. And I also have a passion for film scoring. I just want to find a team that can help bring that to life.
Oh, I'm excited about that for you. Yes, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about your work at Met Radio in
Yes.
Toronto, and but I would love to hear a little bit more about like what point in your life you kind of transitioned into an interest in journalism and how that all came about, and then yeah,
Yeah.
just tell us about your, I guess, journey, for lack of better words. Yeah.
I always loved listening to radio. Like I used to wake up early and listen to Ryan Seacrest's American Top 40 because I just loved knowing what songs are big and charting and I I just was I never realized that this was something that I fully was interested in and doing as a career until I got to university. I studied at Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly known as Ryerson University. I started off as a psychology major because I didn't know about the media production program. And someone was like, I was talking to one of the advisors, and she's like, "Oh, how was your summer?" I was like, "Well, I've been writing a lot," and I showed her like a demo because at the time I had a voice coach who was showing me how to use some production program.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played her this demo and she's like, "Oh my gosh." Like at the time we didn't have our professional music program that currently launched, but she was like, "You need to be in our media production program." So I went, I applied, got waitlisted, and I got in the 2019 to 2020 year and had despite COVID and having to do some years online, I had such a fantastic experience with amazing professors who really just wanted me to succeed. If it was putting Braille on the mixing console so I can take a crack at, getting the audio levels for recording radio or podcasts or things like live TV recording and like digital media where I got to make a really cool audio trailer. It was just such a fun experience. And in my final year, I got an opportunity to intern at Day 6, the CBC show,
Yep.
and I got to produce a tape piece for them. So essentially, I had this guest. Her name's Amanda Mull, and she works for The Atlantic, or at the time she did. I think she probably still does. But anyway, I did a piece on why eye cream is more expensive than facial moisturizer. So you don't hear my voice in there, but I got to write out I got to put to like all the music and edit the clips of the interview that kind of made the piece and all that fun stuff. And from there I was working at AMI where we met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was doing content development, so I like created an idea for their like a TV show that could work for their channel, and then I was also the entertainment reporter on the show that they used to have called Now with Dave Brown, which talks about
I know
different
Dave.
topics in the disability community. But, like, we talk about like sports and entertainment and everything like that, but through a disability perspective. So that was really, really fun. And then I went back to CBC, produced Playing by Ear, which was the documentary that spotlights blind and low vision musicians and how to find success in music, which you were a part of,
Oh,
telling
thank
us
you.
how to, the business side of the industry in Christina's conversation. So go check that out. And from there, I was like trying to figure out my next steps and decided to get involved with Met Radio, which is a community radio station. And every Monday at noon, I host a collective show called Met 30, which highlights some of the top albums played both on our station and community stations across Canada. We also do a lot of like artist features, and I play a bunch of artist interviews that I do. So I interviewed Christina for that one as well
Yeah.
and so that was really fun. And I recently got to cover Departure Festival, which was Canadian Music Week. So lots of cool opportunities with amazing staff, as you know.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
also been helping with making the space more accessible. Like we put braille labels on on all the doorways and on all the equipment so that anyone can access it easily. So it's been such a great experience working with them.
Okay, this is all incredible, but I don't mean to go off topic, but you did mention eye cream versus facial moisturizer, and I was just thinking about this the other day because I love the Sephora line. It's
Oh
affordable, it's
yes.
clean, and
Yes.
so I have their eye cream and their facial moisturizer, which look
Yes.
really similar. And I ended up just
Yes.
putting the rest of my facial moisturizer in with my eye cream. And I was like, I'm just going to use this up over my whole
Literally, because
face.
it's like essentially, it's basically a very similar formula, but they're just like, okay, they charge more because of a
Yeah.
marketing tactic.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, I have a lot of eye creams that I just use on my whole face. I'm like, if this is good for my eyes and my eye lines, then I'm gonna put it everywhere. And then if I want to really use it up, I just use it all over my body.
I love it. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
definitely
so
send you the link to that at
oh,
some
please
point.
do. Yeah, that's amazing. I will share that link as well on my stories on my Instagram because I do love getting into facial. Like I'm kind of obsessed with skincare stuff. I'm not an expert, but I love skin health. Is yeah.
Oh, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Right? I mean, it's our biggest
Yes.
organ. I mean, might as well take
I
care.
love honestly, like if you ever wanted me to come on and do a whole skincare routine, I can
I
do
think
that.
we should. I think we should do one with video.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
yeah,
And then I'm
we
also into makeup as well because people think it's such a visual thing, but there's actually such a tactile element to it, like the feeling of, putting the products, if it's, a fluffy blush brush that you like, the
yeah.
feeling of it on your face, or my favorite is doing lips because then I can really feel how much is on my lips and
Yeah.
playing around with different lipsticks and lip glosses. Like
Oh
I
my
think it'd be
God.
cool to do like a fashion tutorial showing how I do it as a blind woman.
Yeah, what would be the best media source like on platform to do that on for you? Like do you do Instagram lives or would this Riverside FM be the best place to do it and then, YouTube? Cuz I would love to do both where like you teach me to do your routine and I try to do it and so people are seeing us both and
Oh
then
my
I
gosh,
teach you to
yes.
do my routine
Oh my.
and we could even I would
Okay, we need
honestly
to talk
yeah.
about this online because
Okay.
we need to
Yeah.
talk about this because I am so down to do
Yeah,
this.
wouldn't that
Like,
be fun?
yes, I feel like if we did, I have to see how, like, I've watched Instagram lives. I haven't actually done it with, like, yet, so I would have to figure how that works. So
Well,
I'm more than happy to
ah,
try to test that, or we record on Riverside like we're doing today, and you would just make sure
yeah.
that my camera is like in frame and everything, and I
Yeah,
can bring
yeah.
all my products. That could be really fun. And even if you
So,
wanted, you can, when I show my routine, you could try doing it with your eyes closed to kind of see
oh
what it's
my
like for me
gosh,
and how I do
yes.
it.
Yes. And you heard it here, Little Heartbeat listeners. We're going to do this. We're going to schedule it. Oh, so I'm going to
Yes.
propose that when you teach me to do your routine, right? I can
Yeah.
record it, but you can use that video on your YouTube channel and then when
Yes.
I do mine and try to teach you mine, I'll use it on my YouTube channel
Yes.
and we'll
I have to
tag
see.
each other. So this is
Yes. What if
this
we
is
do it?
how
Like, we can do it like as like Instagram Reels or something too. So
yes,
I
we
know that's
can
pretty big, and then you can just
reuse
invite
it.
me to collab on. Like we can just do like the real collab thing.
Yeah, I'm big on reusing content like in
Yes.
like I'm sure you are as well, but like the YouTube channel is kind of like the place where we all want to where everything lives and I like it cuz I do find, and you tell me if you feel the same way or not, but YouTube is probably one of the more accessible platforms, like across the bar, that everyone can
I
access.
do love YouTube. I used to be that doom that scroll. I would scroll like I would doom scroll on YouTube
Yeah.
way too much. Yeah, it's a very accessible platform. Yes, I'm very hyped about this
Okay, me
because
too. Yeah.
I want to get more content out there.
Oh
But
my
yeah, YouTube's
God.
great. I love YouTube. Yeah, and I've recently been getting like I've always had Instagram, but I haven't really been using it as much till like this year when I'd like when we put up our interviews, I would like
Hmm.
be part of the real collabs and I'd find myself not just working on there and that I'd just be scrolling way longer than I should be because now the
Right?
app is like much more accessible. Instagram, like stories will read properly. Like I can know what like the text of the stories are, which is nice, and you can add like the alt text descriptions
Hmm.
so that you can like describe like there's a setting on Instagram where you can like manually describe like you can put in a description so that I can see what your pictures are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Instagram for that.
Yeah.
Um, I think the trick for someone like me is to remember to do that. Do the alt, you know what I mean? You make it a habit.
Yeah.
And the what I'm trying to post less. So when you
Mhm.
post less, it's kind of more if you kind of make a little checklist and don't forget your alt text. But I certainly have been guilty of forgetting to do the alt text. But I think it's really cool. And more and more people I do see either putting it right in the text of the post,
Mhm.
or they don't know that you can have that option too, to put in the alt text separately. But you don't need to do both, is what is my understanding. Like you're,
Exactly. Like either put it in the text or put it in the description, as long as you can follow what's in the picture. Or even I say if you have like a detailed caption, sometimes that suffices. If it's not like, something like girls' night out, like that's a bit vague. It's like, where are they? Who are they with? Who are the other
mm-hmm.
girls? But something like Taylor Swift concert 2025. You can assume, I mean, it'd be nice there to have a context if you're posting a picture of Taylor. Like, she's on stage, she is wearing this to represent this era. Like, stuff like that could be fun. But sometimes, if it's a detailed enough caption, like,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift in her rocking out her red era, something like that, then like, that's good. But I'm a big believer in alt text. If you have time to do an alt text, I think that's always nice. But sometimes even if you just do a descriptive caption, I would appreciate that as well because it's like, okay, at least I know what's going on in that picture. Yeah.
We could do a whole, I gotta have you
Another
back on here to
thing
do
we
a
can do.
whole, I know, like, I'm like, I don't want to eat up I'm gonna have to hire you as like a special guest. You'll be my only paid guest.
Literally, like there's so
Like, I don't
much
want to take,
content, like, and I just, I really appreciate you, Christina, because you really want to, get this type of content out there, which I think is amazing. Just, really giving a platform for, people like myself to really, in a fun way, educate what it's like to live with a disability and how disability isn't everything. Like there's more to us than just that we have, a bigger personality like makeup and music and I love shows and yeah, as you said, like I'm very like a positive, warm person. So I love having the place to be able to share that with your listeners too.
oh, well, I would love to hear, because you also do such great work with disability in the arts, and I know that's a passion of yours that you want to do more of in the future. But I was curious if you have an example of a story of disability in the arts, or it doesn't have to necessarily be in the arts, that you helped share through radio that really made an impact on your life.
through the CBC documentary Playing by Ear, I got to talk about this amazing organization called RAMPed, Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. I talked to Lachi, who is the co founder of this organization, and they do things that range from making the Grammys more accessible from the performance side of things, like putting a ramp on the stage so that people in wheelchairs can access it, but then also people who don't need a wheelchair but are wearing long dresses don't have to worry about, managing that dress on the stage. But then they
Mm-hmm.
also do things for the viewers as well. So having someone doing closed captions for those who are deaf or hard of hearing during like the red carpet, and having someone do audio descriptions so that people who are blind can get into the action as well. Because, lots of the appeal of the award shows is, what is this so and so celebrity wearing? What are they doing? So it's nice to be included in that way. I recently got to talk to a musician. It's really cool. So she goes by Heather Feather, and she is a musician who primarily does music for kids because she's also a kids music teacher, and she has multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
And just hearing her story of how, you know, her music really talks about inclusion and disability and awareness, so that from a young age, music speaks language. Like, I feel like you can learn so much from music. So through her music, kids and adults can relate to her music, but she's kind of showing kids from a young age that, we just because someone may look different than you, it doesn't mean that they are, that they're, they deserve to be loved as well, and they deserve to be treated as an equal. So that video should be up end of May. So I think by the time this goes up, the interview will go up. So feel free to check that out on the Met Radio YouTube page when that's
Yes,
available.
cool.
It was a really, it was great to just be able to chat with someone who also is in the disability community, and to relate to each other in that way of what our lives are like. Yeah, we have, different experiences, but as a whole, it just like, I think any time that someone with a disability gets to be represented in media and get the chance to share their story, it's always really exciting. So, yeah, I can't wait for that to drop.
Amazing. Okay, well, and please do, if you think of something like that uh, that I can share, you can either send me a message and let me know, and I can find where you've posted and share it on my stories and let my
Yeah. Oh
audience
my
in on
God,
that.
that would be amazing if you can share that. I will let you
Yep.
know the interview is out, and we do the same thing as we did with your interview, where we post a reel, like a highlight reel of the interview on social media. So I can totally let you know when that we post that too on our end.
Fantastic. Can you share a challenge in your life that felt like a big shift, like a pivotal thing? Either it can be professional, creatively speaking, or personally that you're comfortable sharing. I do love to talk about pivotal experiences
Mm-hmm.
in our lives.
Yeah, well, CBC working on Playing by Ear was a big one for me because it was my first time I was able to, take the role of both host and producer on live radio. I was working with another wonderful producer, Eric Van, who really helped bring my passion to life. And early on, we knew that we wanted to talk about, like, incorporate my experience with music, and it was a lot about figuring out how can we do that while also being able to give the guests that I'm focusing on really get to spotlight on them. And I think creatively, the way we decided to do it is, kind of as little segues between the interviews, have me demonstrate in a fun way about what my experience is like, showing recreating different memories. So, if it was the clip of me singing on the ukulele, or the clip of me showing off my perfect pitch and having him pick songs that I didn't know beforehand which ones he was going to pick, and trying to learn them on the spot. So I think those are really fun ways to get my story out there. And then, I'm a big concept person, but sometimes titles don't come easily to me. So we're like, what should we call this thing? And then Eric was like, wait, the whole theme is the idea of playing by ear. And I'm like, wait, I love that. So that's how playing by ear came about, as playing by ear.
Oh, awesome. That's really cool. Well, tell us about your experience at Canada Music Week. It was a big week for you. You almost lost your voice.
Yeah,
Sounds
as
like
you
did
could
you?
tell, I'm still recovering.
No, you sound great, but it's a lot of talking, I
Oh
bet.
my
And
gosh, it was so much fun, and I discovered so many new amazing artists. So they rebranded to Departure Festival now.
yep.
But all the venues that I went to, I went to Reed's Distillery, Supermarket, and the Blue Moon Brewery, and all the volunteers and staff there were so helpful and made me feel so welcome from the get-go, finding me a good spot, and just being very supportive. And yeah, so just want to shout out the Departure volunteers and venue staff for being so helpful. And I also discovered so many amazing musicians like Kaya Gamble, Dana Reed, Paige Penny. Got to see some of my favorites from last year, Chloe Caroline and Josh Bogart. And I always tell people, like, I'm not a big clubbing person. Like, an hour of clubbing life and I'm ready to crash. But when it comes to music, I can stay up way late and just listen, because there's just something so captivating about listening to live music, and especially in venues that really enhance the mood. So I saw an all country show at the Reed's Distillery, and it was a very intimate space with very cozy furniture, which helped enhance the space. And I went to 4 concerts that week, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed every moment of it. And tip for anyone going to the Blue Moon Brewery in Stacked Market, they have one of my favorite spring rolls.
Oh, nice. I don't want to wrap this up, but we're getting close to wrap up time. This has already
What?
been, I know,
This
right?
flew. Oh
This
my
is already
god.
like one of my favorite episodes ever, my chat
Wow.
with you. And it really is refreshing to get to know more of you. And I wanted to ask more about, like, outside of music and media. Are there other, like, that I wouldn't have heard about already? Like, are there other activities or hobbies that, like, bring you joy, that are weird?
Yes.
Weird. Is there anything weird you want to share about yourself
Oh
that
my
people
god.
might not know?
Okay, I love running on the treadmill while listening to 2000s throwbacks, because that's the only way I'm on there, because
Wow.
it gets
Okay.
you up and moving. Um,
Yes. Oh my
I
God.
also
That's, yeah.
I'm learning how to do boxing. I'm pretty good at it. So I may look short, but you don't want to mess with me because I know my boxing moves.
Amanda, you're not going to believe this. We're on the same wavelength. When I was in the boxing club in high school,
No
and we
way.
didn't actually ever get to the point where we were like in matches, and I didn't want to. I was afraid to have my teeth knocked out.
Yeah.
But the training is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, like I go to the gym and I have someone who teaches me. Shout out Claudio if you are listening.
Claudio.
He is the best. He is so motivating, and he always whatever workout routine he has for my sister, he has me up and doing the same thing.
Nice.
He's really good at challenging me, and we do a lot of boxing together, and we do a lot of different exercises. And it's really fun because I feel very satisfied after practicing these boxing moves, because I feel like self-defense is really important these days, especially as a woman. Like, it's good to know how to defend yourself, but then, you know, it just also just really rewarding when you can get a routine down.
Totes, yeah. I have a punching bag on my front porch. So
Love it. Well, I do have to come over there and
yeah, you have to
get
come
some
visit and
punches
punch the
in.
bag. Exactly. Yeah, that's so awesome. What about weird things that you like to eat? Is there anything like I used to eat? I haven't in a long time, but pickles and mustard sandwiches.
Interesting. Let me think of different combos. I honestly, I love potatoes. So anything
Oh, me
potatoes,
too.
give me those chips, those fries, those hash browns.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. If I think of it, I'm gonna send you a message because I'm a
Mm.
huge foodie.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll make a separate post dedicated just to the weird things that you might. Oh, favorite chips. I think I'm still like an old like Lay's salt and
Lay's always
vinegar.
hits. Lay's
Uh-huh.
always hits. But there's the thing, I'm very classic when it comes to chips. Like, I like to actually
Yeah.
taste the chips flavor. So I usually just go for like regular Lay's or like Miss Vicky's or
Oh
Cape
yeah.
Cods when we have them in the house.
Yes.
I love a good crunch, you know?
I can't have them in the house unless it's treat night because I will.
Exactly.
If there's a bag of chips in the house, like if there was a bag of chips every night, I would eat them every night. I think they're definitely designed to be addictive. And
Oh, they are. They are
so,
indeed.
okay. So where do you want folks to check out what you do? Let's go over the websites. I know
Yeah, so
I'm gonna drop them all in the episode show notes and then I can share some too in the stories.
for
So
sure. Well,
what
I
do you
also love
yeah.
to shout out a live performance I did last summer. We have a show called Live Off the Floor at Met Radio, and I got to record 3 of my new songs, like one that I wrote during the pandemic, and the other ones I was telling you about, like the mystery song that I wrote. And we got to just do like acoustic versions of them. So I can already send you the archive to that. But yeah, that was really fun, and we got to do an interview chat similar to this. So I really enjoyed that. But where you can find me, so Amanda Raya, Raya official on Instagram, Amanda Raya, Raya official, and then on Twitter, I'm Amanda Raya music, and then feel free to check out the Met Radio YouTube page as well as the Met Radio website, metradio.ca, because I do post a lot of like event reviews. So, like the departure stuff, I already have an article out there about the Reed's Distillery Showcase, and I'm working on a top 5 right now to showcase some other contents. And I also do a lot of like album reviews on there, reviewing a lot of emerging artists. So I reviewed Eliza Niemi's album, Progress Bakery, when it came out, or Jennifer Castle's album, Camelot. So feel free to like check out the site for content there. And yeah, those are kind of the
Holy
main places
moly.
right now.
That's a lot. You are busy. You are busy.
Yes.
I love it, Amanda. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
a
for having
guest.
me. This was so fun.
I know we're going to do it again. We're going to do makeup and I have some other ideas, but I'm not going to throw them all in your face right now. Hey, Little Heartbeat listeners, we're stopping and I know you're sad, but aren't we all glad that we know Amanda Shekarchi? Am I saying that right? Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda.
This was so fun.
It's love. I don't want to say goodbye to you. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to you. Welcome to the Heartbeat Hotline, 1-902-669-4769. I'm the host of A Chat with Heart podcast, Christina Martin, and I'm so excited you called. Leave me your question, a suggestion for the podcast, or a comment about this episode. Please be aware your message may be used on the podcast and social media. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and it's also fine if you want to remain anonymous. Thanks for listening. Have a great fucking day. Hey, thanks for listening to A Chat with Heart, produced by me, Christina Martin. Co-produced and engineered by my partner in life and sound, Dale Murray. Dale's not just a wizard with knobs, he's also a killer singer-songwriter, session musician, and music producer. Go snoop around his world at dalemurray.ca. The podcast theme song, Talk About It, and I Don't Want to Say Goodbye to You were written by me and recorded by Dale. Want to support what we do? You can snag CDs, vinyl, digital music, and some weirdly delightful merch like custom puzzles and temporary tattoo packs over on my Bandcamp. If you're into keeping indie art alive or just want good karma, become a monthly or yearly member on my Patreon. It's a platform that helps creators get paid to keep making stuff we love. I swear by it. Sign up, free or paid, at patreon.com/Christina Martin. If this podcast made you laugh, cry, think, or rage text your best friend, do me a solid, share it, rate it, review it, and hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And to all my little heartbeat listeners, stay weird, stay tender, and I'll catch you next time.